Last night, the Buffalo Bills had by far the worst game they've had all season. Understandably, if you're a Bills fan, you probably are agreeing with that statement, but if you're not someone who watches the Buffalo Bills every single game of the year, you probably are thinking, well, they only lost by 4 points to a team who at that point was the number one team in the conference, and a Patriots team who was putting things together in a way that a lot of other teams around the league have failed to do. What you have to understand is a 4-point loss, even though it doesn't look like a lot, it's still a loss to a team who is starting a rookie quarterback who is in year one of their development of trying to compete with Mac Jones as the quarterback. Not only that, they lost to a team who only had to throw the ball 3 times in order to win the game last night. Now, no, do you have to throw the ball 40 times a game to win in the NFL? A lot of teams have proved that wrong. But you have to force a team to throw the ball more than 3 times in a game to win. I get it. There was 40-mile-an-hour winds last night, and there was something of an aura of the fact that it was going to be one of those classic football games where teams just don't throw the ball a lot. But, I mean, if you're the Bills, what you have to look at for this game is the fact that you could not do anything to take the New England Patriots off of what they wanted to do. The New England Patriots didn't play a good game at all yesterday. They had 241 total yards. They lost a fumble. They had 6 penalties for 47 yards. They didn't destroy time of possession. They only had 4 more minutes than the Buffalo Bills. The Bills had more first downs. The Bills had way more passing yards. The Bills, the Bills probably played a better game than the New England Patriots did last night. But the fact of the matter is, the Buffalo Bills have no semblance of one facet of the game, and that's the running game. They can't run the ball. They can't stop the run, and that's going to be the biggest issue going forward for Buffalo. And I'm going to be honest with you, last night should have been an easy win for the Buffalo Bills because they really should have gone into that game knowing that the New England Patriots were going to run the ball at least 30 or more times. They have a lot of running backs when you look at names like Ramondre Stevenson, you look at names like Brandon Bolden, Damian Harris. They get a lot of other guys in the running game as well. It just should have been known. It should have been known. And maybe it was known. But even if it was known, that almost makes it worse because then you're looking at a team who, even when they know what's coming, they can't stop whatever New England's doing. Now, give all the credit in the world to Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots because even in times when it looked like the play calling wasn't going to work or the game plan wasn't going to work, they stuck with it. They didn't force the ball into Mac Jones' hands. They didn't force him to throw the ball 20 times like the Buffalo Bills did with Josh Allen, forcing him to throw it for 30 attempts. They let the game go by slowly. They let the game go by on the ground. They let the game just go by smoothly and efficiently. And that's something that the New England Patriots have done for 20 years now, going back to when they had Tom Brady. Ever since Bill Belichick has gotten there, they let the game go by smoothly. And that's the real difference between what the New England Patriots do and the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills don't have a smooth game plan that just gets them through the game every single week. What they have to do is throw the ball almost every single play because running the ball is not an option. And a lot of this to me has to do with the Kansas City Chiefs. Because if you look at what the Kansas City Chiefs have established over the past few years, they have established a game plan in which they are going to throw the ball. They're going to throw the ball better than you no matter what because of the fact that Patrick Mahomes is just probably a better quarterback than what you have. They're going to have better yards per play because their skill position group is just incredible. And in general, they're going to put a lot of points on the board because their offense is so pass happy and their offense is so efficient when they're pass happy. And coming into this season, I thought that was actually a strength of the Buffalo Bills that they could say, no, we're not going to run the ball today. We are going to throw the ball 40 to 50 times and put points up on the board and beat the other team that we're playing. The problem is when you're playing a team like New England, they don't care if you score 1 touchdown because their defense is good enough to where you score a touchdown, they're going to stop what you do well on the next drive. And again, and again, and again, and again. They're going to frustrate you. They're going to eliminate the run. And then by the time you try to throw the ball, they know what's coming. They understand that you're probably trying to throw the ball. And by that time, it's too late because they have guys like J.C. Jackson. They have guys like Matthew Judon to get after the quarterback. They have established veterans on that team like Devin McCourty. They have a lot of guys who not only know what they're doing, but they've been in this system in New England for some guys. It seems like they've been there forever. And they know where the play is going to go before even the offense knows what's going to happen at times. To me, this game last night really says a lot more about the Buffalo Bills than it does about the New England Patriots because, I talked earlier in the year about how the Buffalo Bills were probably going to have a regressing year in terms of what their record said. They already are going to have less wins than they did last year. And at this point, there really is no thing that the Buffalo Bills have proved up to this point through 12 games that would say that they're a Super Bowl contender. Even the record, at 7-5, they're sitting at the, I believe, 5th or 6th spot in the conference. It's probably a foregone conclusion that the New England Patriots are going to win their division because if you look at what New England has to do over the next month and a half of football that they have left to play, you're looking at a team that goes to Buffalo or plays Buffalo and Jacksonville at home. They go to Indy and they go to Miami to end the season. Even if they go like 2-2, or if they go 1-3, but the one game that they win is against Buffalo, they're going to win the division. Like they basically have the division locked up. And at this point for the Buffalo Bills, you're in year one of this new dynasty or new era of football that's going on in New England. And what you have built over these past 4 seasons with Josh Allen and Buffalo, and with Sean McDermott, with Brian Dable, with the defense, what you have built up to this point isn't even better than what New England is doing year one. And right now for the Buffalo Bills, I don't know if they really should be considered a Super Bowl contender anymore. And listen, I understand the Buffalo Bills have one of the most violent and volatile offenses that the NFL has at the moment. 5th in points, 9th in yards per play. They average about 6 yards per play. But with the amount of turnovers that they have, with their failure to run the ball when they need to run the ball, you look at all the games that they struggle in or all the games that they lose, there's a common factor, and that's that they either could not stop the run or they were terrible at running the ball themselves. Even with 99 yards last night, they got doubled up in terms of running yards to 222 by the New England Patriots. And I'm going to say it, it's not like they gave up 222 yards to an elite running back. Ramondre Stevenson, I believe, was an undrafted free agent out of college this year. And Damian Harris, yes, he was looked at as a good fantasy running back, but really the only reason he's getting as much of a chance as he is because James White went down earlier in the season. I think if the New England Patriots had a chance to replace Damian Harris with a better running back, they would do it in an instant. I don't necessarily think Damian Harris is an elite running back. That's what the problem is for Buffalo, is even teams who are average at running the ball or teams who have average personnel on the offensive side of the ball, they're going to get blasted by the run game. They have no chance at stopping it. The only teams that they stop from running the ball are teams that are bad at running the ball. And that's something that should actually be very worrisome for a Buffalo Bills fan, for a Buffalo Bills fan base, because if you can't stop the run, then you're going to lose game one of the playoffs. And honestly, at this point, that's probably looking like the case for the Buffalo Bills.